Hey guys, this is Game for 15 back at it with another video for you guys. And I'm back with another Fairy Tale 100 Year Quest manga chapter review. And yes, I made my catch-up manga chapter reviews covering chapters 117 to 119 yesterday. And today you are getting the chapter that came out today, which is chapter 120, which we get some backstory about the Diablos Guild, I guess you can say, or the first guild in Giltina, the Wizard Guild in Giltina. Some interesting feats, and then even some shocking things going on. And we're left off on a pretty crazy cliffhanger. But let's get to this week's chapter. This is chapter 120 of Fairy Tale 100 Quest, titled "History of the Guild." Cover page is of Urza and Lucy doing those fashion show walkway things where they come out. Lucy's about to fall over, but Urza posing. So yeah, that's kind of the thing there. Now, what is it? We have a flashback, and we cut over to the continent of Giltina approximately around 100 years ago. Now, the world's first wizard guild was Magia Dragon. Now, pretty much we just get the flashback of the fact that we see the Magia Dragon, the Magia Dragon guild members and everything. They're happy that they're now officially a guild and everything. Elefseria is the guild master of it, and pretty much, they're just having a bunch of fun in it. Now, Elefseria goes to make the mention, we are not some rabble of wizards. If we don't function as an organized group, we won't be recognized as part of society. He goes on to say that everyone, you simply have to realize the true meaning behind this power called magic. This power is not for cursing people, nor is it for harming people. It is a power bestowed to us by the gods to help the powerless. If we don't use our powers for others, there is no future for us. Now, all of a sudden, a guild member comes in saying that they got a request from a certain lady in the town of Sambutsu, and pretty much it's the whole thing of solve this, quest with the power of magic. So they end up doing that. So pretty much, that kind of is the start to, the narrator goes on to say, that's kind of the start to how all these other wizard guilds ended up getting started. It was based off Elefseria's wizard guild, which then spread amongst the continent and then other continents of wizard guilds becoming established and everything. So yeah, now the thing is, the guild started to increase day after day after day. The jobs just increase, and then all of a sudden, one day, members of Elefseria's guild actually ran into a dragon. Now, interesting enough, the dragon looks like Igneo or Ignia. That's what it looks like. I don't know if that's the case, but it looks like one of the two, which is interesting. So, yeah, now the guild members try to defeat the dragon, but they ended up coming back. Well, some members ended up coming back. One ended up coming back very injured, saying that, yeah, they're dead and the dragon killed them. And he also goes on to make the fact that magic doesn't work on dragons, which is true to the fairy tale world. Magic does not work on dragons unless it's like dragon slaying magic and things like that. So yeah, now we see it to where time passes over, and these these wizards of Elefseria's guild, they try to take down this dragon, because it's like, well, you kill one of our you harm one of our guild members, we're gonna all come at you and everything. But eventually, the narrator goes on to say all of them lost their lives one by one, and I've learned from old folklore of magic that brought dragons to ruin. And pretty much the ones that wield magic for slaying dragons are called dragon slayers. Now, Elefseria goes on to say we spent many years developing and mastering that magic. And it's interesting from the standpoint, because you have it to where Irene is like, really? You guys self-taught yourself dragon slaying magic instead of using an incantation. And, well, her case and the wizards in her time, in her case, they had to use an enchantment to be able to even learn dragon slaying magic and stuff like that. They didn't self-teach themselves. So yeah. Now the thing is, Elefseria goes on to say, and just when I was able to fight dragons properly, that's when the 6 dragon gods arrive. Now, if you watched my video last week, I completely forgot about the gold dragon Viernes. That's one last dragon they gotta take down. But he goes on to make the mention about Selene, Ignia, Merphobia, Alderaan, gold dragon god Viernes. That was the one I forgot. So yeah. And then obviously we defeated Duragmog. Now, obviously, you know, he goes on to say hundreds and thousands of wizards, you know, fell before them, and he goes on to say, even though I managed to defeat Duragmog, it came at the cost of my heart being eaten, and in the end, he ultimately didn't die. Now, that's when he came with the idea to entrust the future to defeating the 5 dragon gods. And he goes on to say, since then, no one had been able to complete it in 10 years, and then it became known as a 10-year quest, then a 20-year quest, and then a 50-year quest. As the months pass, it is now known as the 100-year quest. And we actually do see these mysterious these silhouetted wizards, but we also see Guildarts there, because if you remember, Guildarts did one of these type of quests to take down a dragon, and he epically failed. So yeah. Now, the thing Elefseria makes in the mention is, like, it seems you two Fairy Tail, you guys have still 2 dragon gods, which are Alderaan and Duragmog. And he goes on to say, well, the 3rd one right there is Selene right there. So, you know, that's the thing. Now, Selene says a shocking, and it's funny because I'm like, I remembered I was saying at the end of my chapter review yesterday, I was like, as long as Selene is not dead, I am happy. Next thing you know, I'm reading the chapter this morning, and I'm like, she's like, yeah, rest assured, I'm already dead. And I'm just like, huh? No. Don't tell me my girl Selene is dead. And I'm like, no! Now, this shocks everybody. This shocks everybody from the standpoint, like, wait, I thought you said you were healed and everything. Now, she goes on to say, a wound inflicted by a dragon on another dragon can never heal. Therefore, the 5 of us, that's why we didn't want to engage in any fights, because we knew if we give a fatal wound, well, that wound won't be able to heal and we'll end up dying. Selene goes on to say, in the voluptuous way, the last 2 chapters, man, were very voluptuous with the nude scenes, I guess you can say. But again, these scenes, typical Mashima. It's gonna be interesting if they actually show these scenes in the anime whenever it comes out. I feel like they will, but they're gonna just put fog over it. But it's your typical scene where girl character's nude. Her hair is clearly covering her, I guess, nipples. And then even you have the little small, you know, steam clouds in there too. But anyways, Selene goes on to say, even if I were to fight and win, one of us were to, or if I were to fight and one of us were to win, the wounds we would sustain then would never heal. Once that happens, we would be killed easily by another dragon the next time. I may appear nice and unharmed, but the wound I received from Ignia back then will soon claim my life. So that very devastating wound Ignia gave her is pretty much, you know, like, I guess you could say, slowly eating away at her life force. And we kind of see how Wendy's kind of a little bit, I guess you could say, she looks, I guess you could say worried or upset in a way. Now, Selene goes on with her statement saying, and it seems you misunderstood something. I'm actually quite fond of humans. This shocks Elefseria, and she goes on to say, I've killed many people, yes, as we get a booty shot, yes. If it isn't already made to the public, Selene is a thick girl. Selene is a thick woman. Personally, I'm fine with that, and I like it that way. Anyways, she goes on to say, I killed many people, yes, but it's not because they were human, it's because they were enemies who were after my life. Whether I'm a cat or a dragon, I did what I did to survive. I believe humans to be foolish creatures, always fighting, always trying to stand above others. Really? Really? Oh, you know, it's funny because yesterday in the middle of the afternoon, geez Louise, all I saw over Twitter was how we're gonna go to WW3, and I'm just like, because if you don't know anything that's going on in the world, well, Poland got hit, and it was by a missile that we do or do not know that was hit by, you know, another country right now that is in the Ukraine, which I think the facts are coming out now that it was actually a Ukrainian missile that hit Poland. But I don't want to get into that politics and stuff. But again, it's a real life thing. This whole thing going on the other side of the world, if you live in the United States, Selene's right. Well, honestly, she is right. And I feel like it's Mashima just throwing that whole hint of like, you freaking humans are just some of the dumbest creatures ever. Anyway, he's right. We are creatures. Like I said, you see what's going on in the Ukraine. It's just a bunch of dumb ass idiots freaking fighting over territory and stuff like that, when all this shit can be resolved with just a simple peace talk and see what the hell's going on, yada yada yada. Simple things like that. And it's just like, we really are a foolish race. We are always foolish race. We're always infighting, starting wars with one another, trying to see who's the top dog. And it's like, it's a constant thing when I can't freaking go to sleep for like 5 seconds and just wonder, like, I hope nothing bad happens. But she goes on to say they hate and kill each other, never able to make the most of their short lives. Another thing she's right about, especially what's going on the other side of the planet. People are hating against each other and everything, and guess what? Innocent people are dying for it, and guess what? Everybody lives a short life. You don't know when you could die. You could die when you're 20, you could die when you're 30, you could die when you're 40, or you could die when you're like damn near 100. Humans altogether has a short lifespan, and in the fairy tale world, well, dragons live up pretty much thousands of years of their lives. So to them, it's like, yeah, we can live for centuries. But humans, they have short lifespans, and this is how they live their lives? Always infighting and arguing with each other? Makes no sense. Now she goes on to say, and yet how far have they flourished? Their tiny little lives overflow with vitality. For all their foolishness, they still love each other and dream of the future. And she pretty much is like, well, if that's by that logic, then aren't we dragons the exact same as them, as the humans? And obviously that makes all the other fairy tale members smile about that and everything. So it's an interesting conversation, spoke of the fact that, you know what, dragons are kind of in the same boat as humans. We're no different than what they are, especially the fact that these dragons can actually take human forms too. So yeah, now she goes on. Now Selene goes on and say, that's why I decided the age of dragons is over, and in this world, I wanted to live as a human. However, to create such a world, I need Ignia and Viernus out of the way, because she makes the mention that they have no aspirations of trying to live amongst humans and living in peace. That's why I needed and I wanted that weapon to pretty much take them out. So we cut over to a scene after that. So again, interesting dialogue stuff there from Selene, pretty much explaining why she did what she did, and it makes a little bit more sense. Yes, was it wrong for her to kill innocent people, distort these worlds and these other universes and stuff like that? Yes, but she was doing this in her own opinion to keep herself alive. At the same time, she wanted to come up with a plan to defeat Viernus and Ignia, so then guess what? She can just live in peace out as a human. We cut over and we have a little quick transition cut. Selene and Suzaku are talking with one another. And pretty much Suzaku's trying to apologize for the whole thing about Carnegie. And pretty much Selene is like, you don't need to worry about it, dude. All that is in the past. We spoke of this before. No, I killed many people. I won't begrudge you. I won't get pissed at you if you killed my son. She goes on to say Carnegie was a warrior and he simply died a warrior's death in battle. Now, Suzaku's like, you sound kind of heartless when you put that behind. And Selene's like, perhaps that's one area where dragons cannot beat humans. I should love him, but I accept his death as such. No, that's not it. I saw Carnegie within you. I even feel as if Carnegie is there. And pretty much it's the whole thing of Selene saying, like, I see Carnegie in you. I see your spirit residing in you. So I guess in a way, she can say that Suzaku is like a son or something like that. I don't know. So yeah. And pretty much the thing is, Selene's like, listen, you don't need to say anything else. I told you it's fine. But listen, there's actually one more thing I have to do before I actually kick the bucket and die. And pretty much Selene's like, listen, I know you're there. And all of a sudden, the chapter ends off with Irene saying, "Oh, you can see me." So that's where the chapter ends off. We're left on obviously on a cliffhanger there for the next 2 weeks. Hopefully I get the review out on time. But it's I feel like Irene's gonna ask Selene some questions. And again, this whole story point with Irene is the whole thing of she's been needing a new body, I guess you can say, a new body to reside her spirit into. So I'm guessing I can say this. Maybe my prediction is Irene will say, listen, you say you're gonna die, but there's actually a way for you to actually stay alive. And that is letting me take over your body. And I'm guessing the thing is the Selene personality will die, like the spirit of Selene will die, but Irene's spirit will be in the body of Selene. And there you go. So maybe Irene is going to be in Selene's body. So I guess in a way, technically Selene will still be alive, but it will technically be Irene in the body. That's my only guess to where it's going to happen. She's probably going to ask Selene any more interesting facts about any of the other dragon gods or whatever, anything related to dragons. And then she's going to say, well, I have a whole plan to actually save your life. If you let me take over your body, I can actually save your life. Now the question is, if that happens, will Selene still have her personality and will it be like a whole Irene Wendy situation? Or will it be, well, the thing is, I can take your body and keep your body alive. The only thing is, my personality will be the dominant personality and I will just be me. And if Selene is fine with that, well, then she's fine with that. And if it's a whole thing of, well, Selene says, I just want you to honor my wish. Find the weapon that I'm looking for so you can take out Ignia and Viernus. Then we got something we're going. So it's potentially interesting thing. I'm calling that's probably the most likely scenario, unless Mashima's going to throw something out the window. But this has been Irene's whole story of finding a new body to put her whole spirit so she doesn't have to be within Wendy. And like I said, I'm guessing that means she would probably have to be the Guildmaster Diablo soon, and she'll be living in the continent of Giltina. Gonna be interesting to see where the story's gonna be headed. But solid chapter. Got some backstory, got the truth of the meaning of why Selene was doing what she was pretty much doing. This was really the chapter that explained why she did what she was really doing. And then this whole interesting fact of the fact that, well, we're left on a cliffhanger between a conversation between Selene and Irene, and I just realized both their names fucking rhyme. Damn it. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys liked the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of my Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest. As well, I said the subscribe button if you want to get more Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest manga content or any other stuff. Again, any other anime content I upload to the channel. I'll probably record the video today. Don't know if we'll go up today, but I'm gonna be recording my I'm gonna be doing a review of Sonic Frontiers, the newest Sonic game that released, and yeah, want to talk about it because I want to get my thoughts on it. But anyways, guys, catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day. Peace.